So let's get right into it. If you're working hard to protect your kidneys, chances are you've been told eat more fruit. But what if I told you that some of those super healthy choices could be silently making things worse? That's exactly what we're going to break down right now.
I hear this all the time, and I get it. It's so frustrating. You're doing everything you think is right, you've given up soda, you're picking fruit over cake, but those creatinine levels just keep creeping up. Look, this is not your fault. It's just a classic case of not having the right information.
And that brings us to what I call the healthy food paradox. It's especially common for folks over 50. You make this big switch to a healthier diet, you're loading up on fruit, and yet your kidney function seems to be getting worse. And the real kicker? The damage is completely silent. There's no pain, no alarms going off, just this quiet, cumulative stress on your kidneys.
So, what is actually going on here? Well, the issue isn't fruit itself. It's about two specific things found in certain fruits that can be really, really tough on kidneys that are already under stress. Let's pull back the curtain on these two hidden stressors.
First up, we've got something called oxalates. Now, to really get what these do, I want you to imagine microscopic shards of glass moving through the most delicate parts of your kidneys. That is literally what's happening. Oxalates grab onto calcium and form these tiny, sharp crystals that cause constant irritation and inflammation day in and day out. And the second stressor? High potassium. Now, for healthy kidneys, filtering out extra potassium is no big deal. But for kidneys that are struggling, it's a completely different story. Think of it like this. Your body has a daily potassium budget. When your kidneys are struggling, that budget gets a lot smaller. And if you overspend, those high potassium levels build up in your blood, putting some serious stress on your heart and your muscles. Okay, so now that we know why this happens, let's get into the what. We are going to walk through 6 very common fruits that most people think are healthy, but can actually be major sources of these hidden stressors. And trust me, a few of these are probably going to surprise you. First on our list is dragon fruit. Now, this one is really tricky because you'll often see it on kidney-friendly diet lists. Why? Because it's low in potassium. So you might look at it and think, hey, this is a perfectly safe choice. But here's the trap. A tiny 100-gram serving, we're talking just a small bowl, can have nearly 100 milligrams of oxalates. Now, for many people with kidney issues, the recommended daily limit is only around 50 milligrams. So this one seemingly innocent fruit can quietly send you way over your daily limit, feeding that silent inflammation we were just talking about. Next up is soursop, which you might also know as graviola. You'll see this one hyped up online as some kind of miracle fruit, but let's look at the reality. It is packed with potassium, over 600 milligrams in a single cup. That is a huge, huge load for weakened kidneys to handle. Plus, it has a compound called annonacin, which some studies suggest might pose nervous system risks with long-term use. For anyone with high creatinine, the risks here just totally outweigh any potential benefits. Okay, now, let's talk about a mistake that probably happens 1,000 times a day in the grocery store. Nectarines and peaches. They look almost the same, they sit right next to each other, and most of us think they're pretty much interchangeable. But when it comes to your kidney health, this one little choice makes a massive difference. And here's why that choice matters so much. A single nectarine has about 280 milligrams of potassium. A peach, on the other hand, is closer to 180. Now, that 100 milligram difference might not sound like a lot, but remember that tight potassium budget we talked about? It adds up fast. So here's the simple trick. Fuzzy skin is a peach, that's the better choice. Smooth skin is a nectarine. It's a tiny detail that can have a really big impact. Let's move on to one of the absolute sneakiest traps out there, dried fruit. Think about it. When you take all the water out of a fruit, you're not taking out the minerals. What you're actually doing is concentrating them into a much, much smaller package. Let's just take papaya as an example. Half of a fresh papaya has a pretty manageable 390 milligrams of potassium. But once you dry it, just 100 grams can have over 1,000 milligrams. Whoa. That means a single handful, a quick snack, can just skyrocket your potassium levels and put a ton of stress on your kidneys. It's just way too easy to overdo it. Ah, the mango. This one's tough because it's just so delicious, right? It's basically nature's candy. But a medium-sized mango has roughly 320 milligrams of potassium. And let's be real, whoever stops at just a few bites? That potassium adds up quickly. It's like adding a little bit of extra weight over and over to a bridge that's already got a crack in it.
Eating mango repeatedly puts that quiet but continuous pressure on both your kidneys and your heart. And our final fruit to watch out for, jackfruit, really packs a 1-2 punch. It's gotten super popular as a meat substitute, but for kidney health, it's a double threat. A single cup has a massive 700 milligrams of potassium. But wait, there's more. It also contains oxalates. So it's straining your kidneys in 2 different ways at the same time, the potassium overload and those crystal-forming oxalates. It's a double burden that's really best to avoid.
All right, that was a lot of don't eat this. But here's the good news. There are so many delicious fruits that actually support your kidneys. So let's pivot and talk about some fantastic, kidney-friendly swaps you can enjoy without any of the worry.
Let's start with pears. Honestly, these are one of the best fruits you can possibly choose. They're naturally low in potassium, and they are incredibly gentle on your whole system. They don't add stress to the kidneys, they actually support them.
And just look at the benefits. Pears are loaded with fiber, especially in the skin, so don't peel them, which helps fight inflammation all over your body and supports healthy circulation. Some studies even show they can help lower pulse pressure, which is another big win for kidney health. It's just a simple, gentle, and really effective choice. Next up, another amazing option, mandarins. These are so much more than just a sweet and easy snack. They have a really unique protective quality that makes them a top-tier choice for anybody looking after their kidneys. So what makes mandarins so special? It's a compound called citrate. This amazing natural compound actually helps prevent painful kidney stones from ever forming by binding to calcium in the urine. For kidneys that are already stressed out, that is a huge relief. On top of that, they're low in oxalates and have a very safe amount of potassium, which makes them a perfect, supportive choice. And our final swap is pineapple. This is perfect because it gives you that sweet, tropical flavor that a lot of people miss from mango, but it does it without any of the risk. It's low in potassium, and it has its own special secret weapon for kidney health. And that secret weapon is called bromelain. It's a powerful enzyme with amazing natural anti-inflammatory properties. Remember how we talked about that silent inflammation being a huge problem? Well, bromelain helps fight that directly. So pineapple isn't just safe, it's actively helpful. It lets you enjoy a delicious sweet treat that's also working behind the scenes to support your kidneys.
You see, the key takeaway from all of this is pretty simple. Managing your kidney health is not about giving up everything you love. It's about empowerment. It's about understanding that small, informed, and consistent choices are what really, truly make the biggest difference in the long run. So what does this all boil down to? This simple 3-step plan. First, you have to know your enemy, high potassium and oxalates. Second, start actively swapping out those high-risk fruits for the safer, more supportive ones we talked about, like pears, mandarins, and pineapple. And third, and this is the most important part, focus on consistency. It's the small changes you make every single day that will protect your kidneys and give you that peace of mind. Now, isn't that a smarter way to stay healthy?